Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have two, not just one, but two bad news events that happened today, or catalyst, if you will, that are causing AMC stock to fall about 9%. These are things we have to address here on this channel, and that's what we're going to do here in this video. Now, we're also going to get into everything you need to know specifically about AMC as far as the data, what the short interest looks like, the option activity today, all of that. So we're going to get into it. Hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel. So number one is this. So you are seeing a lot of movies going to theaters, but they're not pulling in numbers, right? It says, despite the challenges represented by the Hollywood writers and actors strike, January 2024 witnessed a significant rise in movie releases, totaling 94. That's the highest since 2020. However, that number is still considerably lower than the pre-pandemic historical average of over 140 for the month of January. Moreover, the industry grossed only half of what it did in 2020. Now, we have some final numbers here. It says the industry generated a cumulative revenue of $490 million, marking a decline of approximately 16% compared to the same period last year. The standout performer for the month was Wonka, which grossed $62 million, constituting 18% of the total earnings for the month. So you're down 16% from where you were last January. This is not a good sign that earnings are going to be good for AMC, not in the slightest bit. So that is a problem for AMC stock. I think that is one of two reasons why AMC stock is down 9% today. And it's not like AMC's in a high place. So 9% at lows is like, oh my gosh, that is another just slap in the face. AMC stock is $3.66 per share at the time of recording this video. There is a big problem going on here. Now, Adam Aron, actually, this whole article is really talking about Adam Aron and how Adam Aron tried to say AMC stock performance is due to the bad box office, when we all know that's not true, right? The bad box office is not the reason why AMC stock is doing poorly. It's just not, right? Let's be honest here. Let's not fool ourselves. This is a bad, 16% down year over year for the month of January is not why AMC stock is in the toilets. It doesn't help, but the reason AMC is in the toilets is because AMC is the easiest short I've ever seen in my whole life, with the company essentially just selling stock like they're drunk, right? We talk about the government selling stock like they're drunk, or spending money like they're drunk. It's really AMC that's selling stock like they're drunk and raising capital like they're literally plastered. Now, the second piece of bad news that we got today was the ISM Services PMI that came out at 10 o'clock in the morning today. This really hurt everything, okay? This is sending TLT down, just for a little bit of reference, another 2% today. This follows another 2.2% on Friday. So 2 days of 2% losses on TLT. Now, when TLT falls, bond yields are rising. So 10-year treasuries are up about 13.5 basis points today. You're now at 4.16% on the 10-year treasury. As you can see here, even mortgage rates are now back above 7%. So interest rate sensitive names across the board are getting smacked. So ISM Services PMI, the headline number came in at 53.4. Estimates were for 51.7. So a slight uptick from last month, but not, a 2+ point jump. What really hurt markets today is the prices. Prices came in at 64. The estimate was 57.4. So you came in wildly higher than expectations. This means maybe you're seeing more inflation in the service sector. It definitely does not look good heading into our next CPI report. And as you can see, it's pushing up 10-year treasuries by a considerable amount. I mean, I don't have to say it's not good. The treasuries are saying it's not good. Now, if we also take a look at what markets are pricing in for Fed policy, I do think that is important as well. We'll just go ahead and pull that up. Let's see. For whatever reason, it's not here on a tab anymore, so I have to go ahead and pull it up. Fed rate monitor tool. I don't know why it's not pulled up. I literally never close it out because I look at it every day. But for March, no way are you getting a rate cut. 13% chance of a rate cut, 87% chance of a continued pause. For May, odds are jumping quite a bit today, from 26.8% to 38.6% for a pause. The odds of a rate cut in May dropping about 5% from 59.9% to 54.2%. The odds of 2 rate cuts by May is really falling, now down to 7.2%. And I mean, let me tell you right now, it's pretty dang clear. I don't know how much clearer Fed Jerome Powell can be. If we see a strong economy and inflation, you're not getting a rate cut in all of 2024. You may not even get a single rate cut in all of 2024. Maybe by the time we actually get to the election, will they cut rates 1 or 2 times? But if you don't see some serious progress on inflation continuing, like if the progress stalls here and the economy stays strong, as that's pretty much the baseline assumption, considering we just added 300,000 jobs for 2 months in a row, you're not going to get any rate cuts. And that's unfortunate because markets are still pricing in a lot of rate cuts. If we take a look here, we're pricing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rate cuts still with 36.2% odds. The odds of 5, let's see. The odds of 4 rate cuts sitting at 29.2%. Pretty soon here, we're going to be, getting CPI. We're going to be getting some other data, and it's going to look clear that we're not getting any rate cuts from the Fed for even longer than potentially May. Could be June, could be July, could be later than that. And that's a big problem when the economic data continues to come in this strong. Now, if we take a look here at the Ortex data today for AMC. Keep in mind, again, AMC stock's down 9%. Nothing that's company specific to AMC. Obviously, we have the bad movie theater industry as a whole in January, but nothing specific to AMC stock as far as news today. You do have volume to the call side of 83%, volume to the put side of 17%. And from hedge funds and institutions, you have 2 orders totaling about $51,000 today with a positive order value of 0%. So some very strong numbers overall. A lot more calls being bought than puts. But if you look at hedge funds and institutions, not a lot of activity at all today in AMC stock. If we take a look at the short interest percentage of free float, that is at 11.2%. It's inching up basically every single trading day, and that is happening yet again today. You're starting to get to higher levels. You can see the short score as well as went from 51 to 61.5 where we are currently at. That's mainly because the short interest has been rising. So the odds, of a short squeeze in general, the data is starting to look better. And again, that's why the short score is rising. You do have $112.48 million worth of short positions in AMC stock. Days to cover at 1.52, 28.05 million shares that are currently sold short, 28.45 million shares currently out on loan, cost to borrow about 2.72%, utilization of 43%, and as I previously just mentioned, you have a short score of 61.43 out of 100. On stock twits, you can see AMC Sentiment is 6 out of 100, categorized as extremely bearish. Message volume, though, is extremely high today, which is very interesting. A lot of people writing messages about AMC, and you can also see the participation ratio is also high. I think a lot of people are out there trying to figure out what's going on with AMC. Is this a buyable opportunity now that AMC is $3.66 per share, or is it not? And I think, in my opinion, the answer is yes. So we're going to talk about this more in the next video. So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you want to see that video, hit the like button, all that good stuff. But essentially, when you have, readings like this, message volume extremely high, participation ratio high, that means there's a lot of people talking about AMC. There's a lot of people that still have AMC on the radar, right? And that's the number one most important factor in potentially getting a rally in AMC. You need to have people know about the stock, know about the trade, and that does exist, right? We know that. Question is this a buyable opportunity, or is this potentially a bad move? Now, make whatever decision you want. I am not a financial advisor. You could lose money or make money based on what I'm going to say next, but I think it's pretty clear. Adam Aron, the team at AMC's pretty ticked off because they know they can't raise capital right now. They know they can't sell stock right now when AMC stock is this low. So it puts them in a rough situation when they have to raise capital or ultimately go out of business, right? They have to raise capital. They know that. It's literally no surprise. Well, in this specific scenario, they can't raise capital. So what do they have to do? They have to give you a commitment to not diluting shareholders, because that's one of the reasons why AMC is so short and continues to be a heavily shorted stock. Everyone knows AMC is going to raise capital at some point. Mathematically impossible that they don't. Why not short AMC? That's the logic and narrative that everyone has with AMC. It's genius, right? Now, is it genius when AMC is $3.66 to be taking on short positions? Probably not. I do think if Adam Aron gives us a commitment to not diluting shareholders, AMC stock's probably going to $10 pretty quickly, if not higher than that. If that doesn't work, let me tell you right now, if it does not work, if Adam Aron comes out and says we're no longer going to dilute shareholders for the next 6 months or whatever they say, and that doesn't work, then we have some very big problems on our hands, because then I don't know what other card Adam Aron could pull. I don't think good earnings at that point is going to help the stock rise, but we're not there yet. That has not happened, but I do think another 9% down move gets us a lot closer, right? Adam Aron was complaining about how low AMC stock was at $4.60 per share the other day. Now it's $3.60 per share. So a whole dollar lower. Yeah, it's just you can imagine Adam Aron's probably not too happy with what's going on right now. Now, despite what you might see in the markets today, people are still pretty bullish out there. 49.1% of investors are bullish, 26.4% are neutral, and 5% are bearish. So historically low bearish number, pretty historically high bullish number as well. Historical average around 37.5% bullish. So you're 12% higher than the historical average for bulls. That's quite a bit. Doesn't necessarily mean you're too overextended here. I do think it comes down to the economic data and what happens with inflation. Let's be honest, because if you get a hot CPI report next week, good luck. This market could reset 5 to 10% pretty dang quickly, because that would be bad news. And the softer data that we've got, like ISM Services prices, shows maybe we are going to get a hotter than expected CPI report. Maybe CPI is not going to continue to fall as fast as a lot of people think it will. Now, keep in mind, we do have some earnings for this week, including today and after hours. You're going to have Palantir. That's definitely a fan favorite. Tomorrow, pre-market, Spotify, Fiserv, Hertz, BP, Toyota, Eli Lilly. Tomorrow and after hours, Snapchat, Enphase, Ford, Chipotle, Elf, Fortinet, and others. Wednesday pre-market, Alibaba, Uber, CVS Health, Roblox, XPO Logistics. Wednesday and after hours, PayPal, Walt Disney, ARM, Wynn, Paycom, Mattel, and other names. Thursday pre-market, not many names to speak of. Aura, Hershey's, Spirit Airlines, Philip Morrison, ConocoPhillips. Thursday and after hours, Affirm, Pinterest, Cloudflare, Expedia, Dexcom, Bill.com, Take-Two Interactive, and others. And then Friday, you have Pepsi, Canopy Growth, AMC Networks, not AMC Entertainment, but AMC Networks. So quite a few earnings that are still going to be this week. Some of my larger holdings as well, like a PayPal, like a Snapchat, Enphase, Chipotle, and Elf are going to be pretty interesting ones. Same with Disney, ARM, and Wynn. Cloudflare and Pinterest, also some names that I'm going to be looking at for this week as well to potentially make some trades around. So there is that. Now, as far as the option activity with AMC stock as of right now, You do have about 400 calls currently in the money expiring this week. 56,000 calls out the money. In the money puts at 16,000. Out the money puts at about 13,000. So some option activity for this week, but nothing that is, too crazy. But definitely more call activity than put activity, like you've seen from Ortex. The option activity is definitely firmly bullish in favor of the call activity for today. 83% of activity volume to the call side, 16.6% of the activity to the put side. So let me know what you think about this information down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.